Welcome to Natotron Who XP, where you can profit from my experience with how-tos, reviews, and everyday carry. This video is meant to discuss personal finance with how to manage income. Schools don't teach how to live in the real world, nothing on how to survive. The results of an online survey conducted by global strategy group Illustrated, there is broad recognition that American high schools are not doing enough to prepare students for success outside of academic settings, which is at odds with what most people believe to be the purpose of high school, to prepare students for the real world, according to Quaffman.org. Unfortunately, survival in the real world isn't as simple as hunting, gathering, and building a shelter. In today's world, we need money to survive. I don't know about you, but my public school did not teach me anything about money. Some might say it's not their responsibility. It's the job of the parents, like how to behave. Well, besides the evidence of all the impertinent people out in the real world, we can tell this isn't sufficient. According to recent research from the Lending Club, roughly 61% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, this number impacting both low and high-income earners. Research from Debt.org tells us that Americans owe $986 billion on credit cards. We owe $11.92 trillion on mortgages, $1.55 trillion on vehicle loans, and $1.6 trillion on student loans. Also, averaging that the average American debt ranges from $9,827 to $27,838 on varying age groups from 18 to 70 years old. Research from the new NerdWallet survey conducted online by the Harris Poll suggests that less than half, 45%, of Americans would be able to cover a $1,000 emergency expense without turning to a credit card or a loan. And 60% of Americans don't have a retirement-specific account. Schools don't teach finance. And if the parents don't know or don't teach, then the kids are lost, clearly creating generations of poor financial habits. If you're here, then you have found your way, and will hopefully end that cycle. As a successful academic, when I was released into the wild after high school, I was shocked to the rude awakening of how much I don't know. At least school taught me how to research. So, to save you some time, I'm here to share my experience with my results. Please note that this is just my experience shared to hopefully help you. I am not your financial advisor telling you what to do and that this is the only way. One's relationship with money and the actions taken for its use is very individual and intimate, hence the term personal finance. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation, but there are some common principles that could be followed to be financially secure. It doesn't matter how much you make, unless your money source is unlimited, it's time to buckle down and get it together. If you feel you've got it all figured out, then there's always more to learn. I have found that the first step is seeing where you stand. This means digging up bank statements, credit statements, loan information, your assets, your liabilities, everything that you find relevant to your finances. From here, we can start by seeing your net worth. Add up your money, your retirement assets like a car or a house, and subtract debt. How much you owe on credit cards, car loan, home loan, student loans. This will give you an understanding of what you're working with. You may have broke even, come out to be abundant, or perhaps you may be overwhelmed by the amount owed. The main and first ratio to be concerned with is the money you have readily available versus how much consumer debt you have, aka credit card debt. If you have credit card debt, if you have more credit card debt than you do cash, then this may mean you could be spending more than you make. Fix this by seeing how much money is coming in and how much and where that money goes out, and adjust accordingly. Just getting organized makes you the world of a difference and will help you see the truth behind your finances. Whatever your status is, know it's not the end of the world, and good financial habits fix those stats right up with time. Second step is to create a plan, a budget that includes debt management and an emergency fund. If you have credit card debt, those high interest will compound over time if left unmanaged and can cripple your finances very quickly. While you're aggressively tackling that debt, start setting aside a dedicated amount to saving for an emergency fund. Pay yourself first. The ending goal is to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, but if you're starting fresh, this will take time. So recognize and appreciate the milestones. That includes your first 1,000, your first total to match your highest insurance deductible, your first 3 months, and finally your goal reached of 6 months worth of expenses. Make sure that this parked money is in high yield savings account with an APY or annual percentage yield that will help combat inflation. Otherwise, if your money is in a major bank with an APY of 0.01%, then you are actually losing money to inflation that has a rate of 2% a year, meaning each year your money loses its purchasing power at a rate of negative 2% a year. I suggest SoFi, Varo, Ally, or Capital One. I will review these banks at a later time. Links to these banks are in the description. I would recommend waiting for those reviews. Your plan also obviously needs to include budgeting for your fixed and variable everyday expenses. This can be overwhelming, so I created a free budgeting template that can help you visualize these points made so far. A deep dive and explanation video is coming soon. So your credit card debt has officially been eliminated. Now is a good time to create good credit habits with the third step, to increase your credit score. A credit score is like a report card on how well you manage your money. This score helps lenders and housing providers see how trustworthy you are. The report card is graded not just by one teacher. Multiple credit bureaus report your credit score, and they don't all come to the same conclusions. If you're looking to get a loan, credit card, an apartment, it helps to know which credit bureau they plan to look at. According to debt.org, the most recognized credit score is the FICO score, which comes from the Fair Isaac Company. FICO has more than 50 different versions of your score that it sends to lenders. A good place to get an indicator of where your FICO score hovers is Experian, a free credit reporting company. Your score is composed of different weighted factors. The top 3 factors that impact your score is payment history, credit utilization, and derogatory marks. Factors that have a medium to low impact to your score is credit age, amount of new credit, and credit mix. I recommend putting fixed expenses to a credit card and setting the money for those purchases made aside as soon as you use it, so you can easily pay that card in full at the end of the month. This is an easy way and safe way to keep your utilization low on the card, create consistent on-time payment history, and keeping the card open will age your credit like a fine wine. Don't get me wrong. You can fall into consumer debt if handled improperly and could potentially spend more trying to play the points game. But cheat the system and use it responsibly to make the system help you. And you can get by without a credit score. But you have to jump through so many hoops to convince lenders you are trustworthy. It's much easier just to learn good financial habits in a safe way. Fourth step is to invest in retirement. Future you needs you, present you, to support them. They have been working for about 40 years. They don't want to have to struggle because you didn't want to set aside the recommended 15 to 25% of your paychecks. You are responsible for your future. You, which brings us to the term individual retirement account, or IRA. There are two popular IRA accounts, traditional IRA and Roth IRA, both presenting pros and cons. Traditional IRAs, like a 401k, will give you tax benefits now. There is no limit to contributing to a traditional IRA with pre-tax funds, but with the popular 401k, you can contribute up to $22,500 or $30,000 if you are 50 years old or older. The benefits include tax deductions that year that you contribute, and most employers offer a match to those contributions. The catch? You still have to pay taxes. It's just later when you retire with the hopes that you are in a lower tax bracket. Additionally, there are limited to no deductions when certain gross incomes exceed the range from $73,000 to $228,000, depending on your or your spouse's 401k filing status as of 2023. Additionally, most 401k have penalties for borrowing these retirement funds, so essentially it locks it up. In contrast, a Roth IRA has such a good tax benefit that the contribution limit is much, much lower, with contributions maxing out at $6,500 or $7,500 if you are 50 years old or older. Pros? All of the interest gained, all of it, which is done, if done properly, will be significantly more than the contributions made. These will be completely tax-free. Catch? The contributions are after-tax dollars from earned income only. Additionally, you cannot directly contribute to a Roth IRA if you make over $153,000 or $228,000, depending on your filing status. Though if you are above the threshold, there is a legal workaround by converting a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. Additionally, you may borrow your contributions, but not your earnings from your account. Both are accounts where your contributions have the time to grow through compound interest, through investments. Meaning, you put your money in, that money makes more money by adding interest, and the next amount is bigger. So your interest is bigger. This is a snowball effect where your money makes more money from itself. Once you are living debt-free, have a nice nest egg that is your emergency fund, you have enough consistent contributions in your IRA account that you calculated to make you comfortable in retirement, you are set up financially, and now there is abundance. What can you do with this abundant discretionary income? Invest towards growing your wealth. Put that money to invest in yourself, in the stock market, in a business, in real estate, in whatever your heart desires. Keep in mind that these may be steps, but you can do them all simultaneously with the right plan. Think of these steps more like prioritization. Tackle the things that are destroying your wealth building capabilities, like consumer debt and unorganized, reckless spending, start saving, even if it's just $20 a week. It will add up over time, and when you are able to increase that amount to speed up your savings process, do it. Same with investing in your retirement. Just $1. Letting that single dollar be invested can equal $54 after 40 years at a rate of return of 10%. Just one single dollar. Imagine what you can grow when you start early and keep your investments consistent and in the right place. I encourage you to take a few minutes to see where you're at and make a plan, a budget that will support your wealth building journey. Freedom to live, to do what you see fit. I really hope this helps and that you truly profit from my experience. Till the next time, this is Nathaniel with Natotron Who XP. Thanks for watching.